So let's come to the next stanza. So what have we done in the first stanza? Is the boy happy? Why does he feel happy? Because of nature and the things that he likes to be surrounded with, right? Second stanza, why is the boy unhappy? Because he has to go to school. And how is his day over there? Is it full of excitement and happiness? No, it is full of sorrow and despair, right? Then at times I drooping sit and spend many an anxious hour. Nor in my book can I take delight, nor sit in learning's bar, worn through with the dreary shower. And then at times I drooping sit, drooping, tired, less energy, right? So you have the drooping plants, you know, like at the end of the day, or when it is very hot, what happens to the plants? It droop, right? And when the rain falls and they get watered, again they become straight. So why here? Who is drooping now? The boy. Why? Because he's in school, right? And yes, and spend many an anxious hour. Anxious. What is anxiousness? What is anxious? Stress. Okay, stress, is it? So doing what? Studies, okay? Nor in my book can I take delight. He is there, you know, sitting there, drooping, lifeless, less energy, very tired, and yes, is not finding happiness in his chapters, in his books, in his syllabus. We have an example over there. Just look at, now I don't know that it's Yugank. He's lost in his world. And what are you dreaming about? He is doing it practically. Yeah. Very nice. Look at your book, please. You spent many hours with the birds and the huntsman, right? So it's time to come back to school. Okay. Yes. The little, right, where is it? Nor in my book can I take delight. He's tired. He's exhausted. He's very lethargic. Nor sit in learning's bar. Bar is the shade of the branch, right? Write down. Bar is the branch of the tree, nature, shade of the tree, right? Okay. And yes, so he can't sit over there, worn through with the dreary shower. And what is he worn through? Worn means tired. Okay, right? Yes, so he is exhausted because of learning, and he cannot sit under the branch of the tree. He cannot get, you know, rejuvenated. Like, of course, the shower of nature, but he is there showered with the what? Books, right? With learning, with the things that he has to learn in school. Okay, so here it is once again, what is here in this stanza? What is the boy doing? Sitting in school. He has to learn his lessons. He is not happy because what does he want to do? He wants to be with nature. And what does he compare himself here? Drooping plant, right? And of course, what other aspects of nature does he talk about? Learning's bar. He is there, he is under the shade, he is there learning, but he would love to learn from nature, right? He would like to be out in the open, but he is not able to do that because he has to go to school. How can the bird that is born for joy sit in a cage and sing? How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring? So beautifully written. Yes. And what nice arguments and comparisons. What all the things has he compared himself with? What is it that he's compared it? First with a flower that is drooping, right? Waiting for the shower to fall and then it will become full of life, right? Here, what is it? What has he compared himself with? A bird, and the bird in a cage. And will a bird enjoy singing in open or in the cage? In the open. So how can the bird that is born for joy, born for happiness, to be free, how can such a bird find happiness in a cage and sing sweetly? So we have birds which we keep in a cage and we love to listen to them chirping and singing, isn't it? But is the bird happy doing that? No, because the bird is in a cage. Who is the bird in the cage here? The boy is the cage, okay? How can a child, when fears annoy, but droop his tender wing? So like here, what does the bird do? When it is tired, when it is afraid, right? It is not, unable to fly out of the cage. And it just sits there with its droopy wings, with its droopy appearance and not happy at all, right? It's afraid of being in the cage, afraid of being of the freedom taken away. So what is the bird going to do? Just sit there. Will it sing happily? Will it go on flying around in the cage? It might fly around for some time, and then when it realizes it's helpless, what is it going to do? Sit there, tired, exhausted, right? And here it is it a simile? Has the poet used as and like? Has he said the boy is like a bird? The boy is like a flower? He has compared it directly, right? What do we call such comparisons? Metaphor. So we have the metaphor in the previous tense also, right? Where he talks about the drooping, yes. I drooping sit, right? And in the fourth one, what does he compare itself to? A drooping flower or plant here before, and after that compares himself with the bird in a cage. And of course, how is the bird? The bird is sad. The bird is unhappy. And what does the bird long for? Long for freedom. And when is the plant going to grow properly? When is the plant going to grow properly? In the open, right? Yes. When it is there getting all the elements of nature, when it's getting the sunlight, the fresh air, right? The showers, everything, right? So it is going to look better. It is going to grow better, right? Okay. Yes. But droop his tender wing and forget his youthful spring, youthful young spring, full of life, full of energy, right? What happens when the spring season comes? What happens when the spring season comes? Flowers bloom, new life, right? But here, what is that spring? Spring in your step, that energy when you walk. I mean, when do you walk with a lot of energy? In the morning or when school gets over? Is it? Yeah, when school gets over, yeah, you have a lot of energy, and throughout the day you're being tired. Ma'am, what is she saying? Why isn't she keeping quiet now? Right? But as soon as the bell rings, we pick our bags and full of energy, right? Okay. So here spring is what? Energy. Yes. So we have the spring, as spring is the season also. We have the spring which you put in the toys also. Yes, and how the spring it bounces with energy. Yes. Oh, father and mother, if buds are nipped. Look at the word nipped. It is incomplete. What should be the correct spelling? This should be the correct spelling. Is contracted. The form is written it in the short form. Nipped, like through. Yes. If buds are nipped. What is nipped? Cut. What happens if the, like, yeah, you have this beautiful plant, which is, you're expecting the flowers to bloom, but someone comes and breaks the buds. Will you have flowers? No. If buds are nipped and blossoms blown away. So we have the buds, then little blossoms, then the flower, different stages, right? What happens if the bud is broken? No flowers. What happens if the blossom, right? It is just still blooming. A storm comes and it blows the plant away. No flowers, right? And if the tender plants are stripped of their joy in the springing day by sorrow and care's dismay. And what will happen if the plants, they're taken, like all this is taken away from them. The buds are taken away. The blossoms are taken away. What will happen? Will it be a beautiful plant? Will the plant look beautiful without the flowers, without the buds? It will not, right? And what has taken away their beauty? Sorrows. What kind of sorrows? Nature has taken it. And once again, what is he trying to say? What has taken away the child's growth? What has taken away the child's growth? School has taken away, right? So how will the plant, who's the plant here? The child. How will the plant grow if it is nipped in the bud? The bud is broken. Or, yeah, of course, so still the bud was able to bloom. And what happened? Yes, in the blossoming stage, the storm came and the petals were blown away. Right? So he is comparing himself. Who's the plant here? The child is the schoolboy, is the plant here. And what are the sorrows and the problems that he thinks he's facing? Going to school, right? And he thinks his freedom has been taken away, his happiness has been taken away. Of their joy in the springing day. Springing day. What happens in spring? Flowers bloom, right? Plants will grow. They look so beautiful. But what has happened to this plant? Will it bloom? No. What has happened to it? What has happened to its happiness? It's been taken away. What has replaced it? Sorrow and cares. Right? So this plant is not going to bloom. And who is he telling this problem to? His parents. He's telling his parents that this plant is not going to grow. He's giving a very good argument of why we should not go to school, because we will not be able to grow, because we'll be burdened so much. We have to carry heavy bags and books, so many tests and assignments and whatnot. And poor childhood, where does it go? Do you think it's the truth? Do you think it's the truth? Yes, it is. What happens to our childhood? It's lost early nowadays. Yes, right? Although, yeah, we have access to the internet and the phones and all, and the media and the movies, it makes us grow faster, right? Otherwise, yes, so when you are there, still young and innocent, when you're able to enjoy the beauty of the world around you. So we grow up too fast, right? How shall the summer arise in joy, or the summer fruits appear? So if in spring we have the flowers, only then the fruit will happen, and then the fruit will ripen in summer. But if the bud is nipped and the blossom flies away, what will happen in the summer? There will be no fruits. Right? So we will not have happy children. We will not have happy growing children if their happiness is taken away from them in their childhood. Okay? Do you agree with William Blake? Yes? He has suddenly become your favorite poet? Is it? Yes? Of course we agree with it. It's absolutely true. If you look around here, so you people are there in class 7 and 8, you've got used to it. But if you see little children, when it is really their growing years, and they are made to learn so many things, learn so many names and fruits and seasons and whatnot, and remember this poem or the story and whatnot. What has happened to the innocent? What has happened to the childhood? It's lost. Isn't it? Right? Yes? What? Yes, so the children are like the bird in the cage. They like this flower which is not able to grow. properly. And so he's saying that if we don't have flowers, how are we going to have fruit? So it starts from the beginning. If you don't have the bud, you will not have the flower. If you don't have the flower, you will not have the fruit. Okay, right. Any problem here in this poem? No? Sure? Answer batao. Tell me. Yes, anything not clear? I'll explain that line again. We did the rhyme scheme. I've done the devices here. We have metaphor. Yes, right? Okay.